Tensions in the Iran crisis are rising again, and the new hardline conditions from Tehran and the strong comments from Washington signals that diplomacy is moving into a more dangerous phase. After the weeks of missile exchanges, ceasefire uncertainty, and failed talks, Iran has now issued what it calls as 5 strict conditions for any return to negotiation, especially with the United States. Now, according to the reports from Iran's FARS news agency, these demands were communicated through Pakistani mediator. Now, the message is clear. Iran is not simply asking for the talks. It is setting the rules before the talks even begin. And among the key conditions, there are end to the military operations across the regional fronts, especially in Lebanon, lifting the economic sanctions, release of the frozen Iranian assets, and compensation of war damage, and recognition of Iran's flight over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Iran argues that without these guarantees, any new negotiations with the new states would be meaningless. Obviously, at the same time, Iran has rejected parts of the reported US proposal that included limits on the uranium enrichment and a long-term nuclear restriction. Tehran called it one-sided and very unfair. Now, the conflict itself began earlier this year after direct strikes between US and Iran forces and Iranian retaliation across the region. A fragile ceasefire was later arranged through the mediation from Pakistan, but officials now admit that trust between the both sides remain extremely low. Now, the American side, President Donald Trump delivered a strong remark, dismissing that Iran's proposals are weak and unacceptable. He said that the ceasefire remains unstable and warned that Iran would face consequences if it refuses the deal. Trump also repeated that Iran must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, while suggesting that US military strength has already significantly weakened Iran's capabilities. He also linked the Iran crisis to the broader global diplomacy, including the upcoming discussions with China during his visit. Now, saying major world powers may directly influence the outcome, and analysts say that this situation now sits at the critical point, where diplomacy, military pressure with regional politics are all colliding together at the same time. For now, the ceasefire continues, but both sides are far apart, and the language from the leaders is becoming sharper day by day. Now, the next phase of this conflict may not be decided on the battlefield, but in the negotiations when neither side is willing to step back.